Hi, Andreas from Toddle here. And today I came across a really cool webflow site that had a really nice effect. So this is made by a webflow user called Rob. And he has this really cool feature when you hover some of the individual letters, they sort of highlight, and then after a little delay, they go back again. And I really love this effect. And I was like, how are we going to build that? And how would you do that in Toddle? So I've created a project here. I've used a slightly different setup, but we've got this, essentially this card in the middle, and inside there's a heading with in this case, a lyric from a Taylor Swift song. And to make this work, the first thing I'll have to do is we need a separate element for every single letter of the text, because we're going to need to do a hover effect, and the only way to do that is on an HTML element. But I don't really feel like copy pasting like however many, like 50, 60 elements this is, and putting every single character in. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to copy the text from the heading, and then we're going to insert a span. So spans are really useful for doing like highlighting parts of text, etc. You can sort of take a single word out and highlight that. Spans are perfect for that. And then once we got the span out here, we're just leaving the text in for now. We'll delete that afterwards. We're going to repeat this. And here I want to use a formula called split. And what split does is if you put in the text here, then and then the delimiter, which is what character to split or what substring to split the text on, I can sort of do, for example, if I put in a space here, what split does is split every single word. It splits by space. But I want to split every single character, so I'm going to put in an empty string here. And what we get out is an array containing every single character. Oh, that's a bit aggressive scrolling. Every single character in that text. And because I now repeated my span a bunch of time, I've got a span for every character. And so inside this text right here, I can just pick my repeat item. There we go. Now let's get rid of the text. Now, what you'll notice is that we're missing some white space here. So in order to get that to work, we need to tell the span here to respect white space and how to handle white space. So I'm going to go and add white space to my text, and I'm going to say pre. And then we change it to pre. There's a few different options. You can read all about them in CSS. You can go and check on Mozilla Developer Network if you want to learn more about how to use different white space properties. But you can see now we're rendering all the text with spaces. But every single span, every single character is still its very own span over here. And so what we can do now is add a new style. We can say hover, and then on hover, we're going to set the font color to be Lime 500. So let's go and test this out. Now we're sort of getting the first effect. And now we're getting this nice little hover effect. Every character goes green. But of course, in the example over here, it actually stays green, and then after a short delay goes away. So we can do that actually using just transitions. So we've got our span. I'm going to choose the default style, and I'm going to add a animation. It's going to be a transition on the color property. I want to ease out, I think. We'll pick that one. Duration shouldn't be too long, but we do want a 2-second delay. Oh, that was 200 milliseconds, 2000 milliseconds delay. So that means that when we hover it, or when we stop hovering, essentially, we want there to be a 2-second delay before this animation goes back. And if we look now, what we see, we actually have that on both the adding, like entering the animation, and afterwards when we leave the hover as well. And we want to only have it when we leave. So we're going to go onto the hover, and then we're going to override our animation and say, actually, when you're hovering, we want that to have a transition, and we're just going to leave this like this. So it's 0 duration. Timing function, yeah, we can pick that anything, right? So let's try now. Now when we're hovering, the animation's instant, and then we have this nice 2-second delay before the animation actually goes away. So thank you very much to Rob, whoever you are, for this awesome idea for a text animation. If you haven't subscribed to our toddle videos, you can do so now. We've got a lot of more great content coming out. If you haven't tried toddle yet, please go and do so. It's easy to get started, and we're there to help, and we can't wait to see what you're going to build. Thank you very much.